Okay, so the first thing that I want to address is the false grip. So when using or when doing a strict muscle up, you have to have a false grip in order to make it through the transition to turnover. You don't necessarily need false grip when you're doing kipping, and I'll go into detail later about how that works. But for now, while we're talking about, we're going to go over the false grip for scaling for strength. So here, the false grip, a lot of people tend to, I'd say, want to get carried away with the false grip. They want to grab the side of the rings and then they want to lay their entire wrist on the rings. And then what they find is that when they get into a hanging position and when they have to manage their body weight, they find that it's very difficult to maintain that. If you're laying on the rings, if you're grabbing the sides and you're laying on the rings, it's going to make it very difficult for you to transition and get your elbow over the wrist in that transition. Okay, so with a false grip, it's pretty simple. You'll find that if you change that up, then when you actually go for muscle ups, your strict muscle ups, that it's going to be a lot easier to turn over. It's going to be a lot easier to also manage your body weight. Okay, so here, always grab the bottom of the rings. There's no need to grab the corners or the sides of the rings. So grab the bottom of the rings, and then all you're going to do is just lay the meaty part of your palm down here over the rings. So notice that my wrist, if you can, my wrist is not hanging onto the rings. This is the most of the false grip that you need right here. So once you get your false grip set, the next thing we're going to talk about is the scaled strict. So just like all of our other movements, it's really important to develop the strength of strict movements versus moving into kipping. It's a little bit different with muscle ups. People tend to get kipping muscle ups before they're able to get strict. And so I'll talk about progressions for how to work both. But if you can, you want to start with a good foundation of the strict muscle up. So we're going to go with the scaled version. The one thing that I love about this is that it, again, strength, but it also teaches you how to finish the pull or follow through on your transitions. Okay? So from here, you're going to start directly under the rings. Okay? Get into your false grip. Elbows bent is fine in this position. And then from here, okay, I'm using my arm. So developing that strength, getting a good pull, pulling into my body below the chest, and then finishing that pull through the transition. So one of the things that I notice people miss on either strict or kipping is they start to pull the rings out and then they never follow through with the turn to get into a good, strong, stable position. So what you might find is that people come in here and then they start to turn out, and then from here they don't really know what to do. So you've got to finish and follow through with the pull. So also too, with this, your goal is to aim below the sternum. All right, so you have to get to that point in order to get into the bottom of the transition for a strict muscle up. So again, what that looks like, pull, and then through. Okay, so that is your scaled strict right there for that movement.